Hey guys, Hadley here from Sydney Reefing. A lot of you, if you've watched a lot of my videos, you probably know I harp on a lot about the RedSea roller mats. Partly just because I think they do a great job at keeping all the water clear in my tank, and they've been pretty reliable so far. However, I was recently away on like a week and a half field trip. I got a notification on my RedSea app that my filter roller had jammed, and as a result the roller's no longer cleaning the water. It's kind of annoying because it's just out of date as well for warranty. However, I managed to find a place online that sells replacement motors for them. So I put an order in whilst I was away, and when I got back it had arrived. So I'll do a quick video today showing you how I replaced the motor on them. It was pretty cheap, it was like 30 bucks or something Australian delivered, which is pretty good. But just so you guys understand what's happening with the roller mat, I'll show you. So you can basically see with the roller mat, you can see how the water's going over the edge there. That's because the motor on it's gone, so it generally comes up with a warning light just there. So what I've just been doing in the meantime is I've just been manually sort of rolling it forwards with my hands. You can see the water level goes down, but we will get the motor fixed on it. Yeah, and that should be the end of that problem. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick rundown of how I do it. Okay, so to take this motor off, that's what we do. Oh, it's a bit jammed. So this, you got to remove. Generally, it's a good idea to unplug it first, but I don't really care. But you unplug these little plugs at the back. They just screw. Make sure that they're not going to fall in the water anywhere. That'll be fine there. Then you want to lift these up, just like that. Sit that there, move that out of the way, and then basically this motor here has a little clip on the inside. You pull out like that, and then you should just be able to pull it out. You can see it's a bit wet around the base just because the water level's been coming up. Normally these have little plugs in there, but I took them out previously. I don't remember to put them back in. But yeah, and then I'll show you how to replace the motor. Okay, so we've got the spare motor here, and then we've got the controller here. So all you'll need is just a small Phillips head screwdriver like that. Make sure it's long enough to get down into the screws in here. So we can remove these. And once all the screws are undone, it should just be able to lift out like that. Make sure you don't lose the screws in here. So just tip it up a little bit like that. Knock them out. All four screws. And so you can see the motor in here. So that's the part we need to replace. And the next thing you need to do is undo these little screws here. Once you've undone them, this should just slot out like this. So you can actually unplug. So then you've got to unplug this here. Pain sometimes. Okay. So one thing I would recommend you do is just test that it's the motor before you go to replace it. So if you've got like maybe a 12-volt battery or something like that, you can apply a voltage across here. I'm pretty sure this is a 12-volt, 12-volt motor. So if you've got a small 12-volt motor, just apply positive and negative across the terminals here. If it moves, then you know that the motor's working. It's probably something else. But in my case, I did that and the motor did not budge. So I know what the issue is. Beautiful. And that is it. Oh, it actually comes... I didn't think that. I thought it would just be the motor, but it turns out it's the whole actual gearbox. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the new unit here, so we'll open that up. go. Okay, so then we'll just need to remount it in here. So it might be a bit tricky. You got to make sure that this plug here lines up with this. So I will just rotate it until you think it's roughly where it should be. There we go. And we'll put these screws back in. Okay, then make sure that you plug this back in here. And another thing you want to do is just make sure that there's nothing along the seal here that can get trapped, because this is basically what keeps all the water out. So you want to make sure that that will remain watertight. If you have trouble getting it back on, you've got to make sure that this gear here lines up. As you can see, there's a little notch in it there. So you put that on and you just rotate that a little bit, and there, that clipped back in. Then we put all these little screws back in. And there you have it. So make sure you just put the plugs back in here. But apart from that, we can then go and reattach it to the roller mat. Okay, so we'll reattach this. So put that back in there like that. Put this little plug on top. Put this back in. Make sure the latches are up. And plug back in these little plugs here. Okay, so what we'll have to do first is clear the jammed mat notification. Let me go back and start manual mat advance, and then you can see all fixed. So all in all, it was like $30 for a part. Took a week to get here, and now my roller mat's fixed. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. If you did find it helpful, then please leave a comment below. I can try and do more sort of just general maintenance related videos like this in the future. But yeah, cheers.